What up, Hope Biscuits? It's your girl Skitten, back at it again. First and foremost, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe and sanitized.
I have something to say. I'm here. Hi. How are you?
I was introducing
I'll take your attention to the left here. You see this, the bottom left? So,
yes.
I woke up this morning and said, damn, I'm a little sick. That kind of sucks, right?
Yeah.
I got home just now. I'm like, damn, I'm still sick. Super stuffy. I've been spitting all day.
Yeah.
So anyways, I got my wife these beautiful flowers for her anniversary.
Yeah, for her.
Look at these great flowers. Do you hear how nasally I sound right now?
Is that why my throat has been hurting the past couple of days?
You know how we got home and we were like, man, you'd think we would be sick because of the flowers, but we're fine. And then for 3 consecutive days have been around the house.
Yeah.
Man, these are so pretty and beautiful, but let's let them eternally live in death.
Because we got these like a week ago.
They're killing me.
I don't want to get rid of them though. They're so
killing
beautiful.
me. They're literally killing me.
No.
I'm literally dying.
Oh God, I can
you smell them now?
Oh
because
God.
They've been sitting downstairs in a corner near the front door where there's good circulation.
Yeah.
I've been coughing ever since they entered the house.
Yeah. But look, it came in like such a cute little bag with like the little Chanel thing. It's really cute. Okay, but they're gone.
Okay.
Sorry, love you. Aside from the killer flowers, my husband has been making fun of me for my glasses chains. And I just want you to acknowledge here on camera that I look
old.
cute.
It's old. And I'm not really into older women.
Cute.
I'm not really like a grandma kind of guy. I don't need to be like your sweet boy.
This is cute. I look cute. This is fashionable.
You look like you have one of those little phones you gotta go shoot.
A rotary phone?
Shoot. You look like one of those people that'd be like, beep, 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 beep. Oh, let me find a payphone to dial the number.
Is that a donut?
It's from the other videos when you gave me the donut. I left it on the desk.
Don't eat that.
Beep, 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 beep. Let me find a different phone to call this number from. Then they sent me the number to my waist. It's a beeper joke.
I was gonna say, are you making a joke about pagers?
A donut beeper.
Okay. We are here to watch some casual Geographic. Yeah. I'm super excited to see what this video has in store for us. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
Mom, come outside, there's a moose! Or a buffalo or some shit, they're fighting!
Whoa!
Do you know what this is? No. I bet you don't.
Some kind of lemur?
Chances are, most of you have never seen this tree chunk before. I'll tell you in a second, but first, quick question. If you had to take a blind guess, how many species of mammals do you think are in the world?
7,000.
Hold on, we did this.
What?
We did this already.
What?
It's like, mammals? We did this with Lindsay.
Yeah, but it was not mammals, though. It was with worms.
Yeah, but she talked about mammals.
6,000.
I'm going to say like 50,000.
Okay. I think these are solid guesses.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
Think of all the ones you've seen in your entire life and try to imagine what number that would add up to.
Yeah.
The answer, 6,495.
Damn.
What number? How many?
Damn.
Give me a guess. 6 what? 1,000. What did you say? 50,000?
Yeah.
So that's because you got baited because the worm video.
Yeah.
We went with like a couple thousand, and it was like 600,000.
Yeah, it was like a lot.
Yeah, it was
like
ridiculous. Yeah.
And counting, and that's just the mammals. Add in animals in general, and we're talking millions. Which brings me to my next point.
Armageddon, some like that. Illuminati from Madagascar. What the is that? Damn, that's from Madagascar. Something from the Bronx. Oh, that's super nasty. One of the is right there on 14th Street.
Damn.
This man is a wordsmith. Laugh at my mans all you want, but understand if school doesn't teach it to you and you don't see it in a zoo or on National Geographic and it's not the animal of the week on Reddit, you'd have no way of knowing some animals even exist.
That's true.
There's an animal of the week on Reddit? Like, is that like an official subreddit thing?
I thought it was like a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
I was like, because if there's like a subreddit I can be a part of that does like an animal of the week, I'm in there, bro.
At the end, we'll check it out and see if it's like a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
which is why I can personally guarantee that you haven't seen or heard of all 10 animals in this video.
Okay.
You might know 3 or 4. Animal Planet veterans might get 6 or 7, and hey, some of y'all might know 8 just from watching me long enough. But I promise you there's gonna be at least one animal I talk about that you've never heard of before.
I'm excited
I put that on
for
my
that.
hairline, and I wear this hat every video for a reason. So let's make a game out of it. If I show you something new, you lose, and you gotta comment what animal was the one to stump you.
Okay.
And for 90% of y'all, the game ends right here. Because what do you think this is?
A lemur.
Some kind of monkey? Maybe an obese lemur or an AI-generated sloth?
Yeah.
You're not gonna believe this. It's a koala. Okay,
What?
not really.
All right. So yeah, officially actually lost the game.
Yeah.
That's the most badass koala I've ever seen in my life.
Badass. He looks diseased.
Yeah, man. Koalas already have the herp, man. At least he looks like it.
He looks sad.
He's walking the walk, man, not just talking the talk.
But koala's actually closer than anything else I said. This porky, dead-eyed struggle monkey is the bear cuscus, and despite looking like nature made it on a deadline with spare parts, it's actually a marsupial. This thing that looks like a Madagascar understudy is more related to kangaroos, devils, and quokkas than it is to any lemur. And that's about as much as we know about them because we haven't been able to figure out much more.
Okay.
They've essentially been gatekept from the rest of the world, only found on the Indonesian island of Sulawesi and remote islands nearby. We have no clue how many overstuffed
So
tree
fat.
chunguses or chungai are in circulation, and currently only 4 zoos have this monkey sloth on its roster. Even its name is an identity crisis since cuscus means possum, meaning on paper, you're looking at a bear possum, but its Latin name is Aleurops ursinus. And I didn't take Latin in high school because French was too sexy, but I'm
Ursinus has
pretty sure
something to
that
do
means
with
cat
bear.
bear. Basically, not even science had a handle on what this off-brand koala was. And they have the same meal plan as them, and since they eat nothing but leaves, they virtually spend their entire lives on quarter playback speed. In fact, this great value lemur spends 5% of its day eating and 63% resting. That's 16 hours a day eating and recovering from eating. That is load management, and boy is this tree chonk a load. They'd probably be cute if their eyes didn't disturb me on a spiritual level. This is a cuscus that has seen some shit.
Something about
And
the
clearly
face,
they never
bro.
recovered since they're painfully shy and will even cover themselves with leaves if they see you first since they're terrified of humans and only live in the most isolated areas of the forest.
cute.
Also, this is a Thalud bear cuscus and they're a lot cuter, but it also looks like a wombat that got severely
No.
laced.
I
But with
don't
them
like
being
that.
highly rare tree-loving marsupial introverts, it makes sense that you've probably never seen them before.
Right.
The next animal's probably the biggest one you've never heard of.
So the other one was cat bear, ursine, you know. It's like the bear. The other one is just cat, like just the base for cat, right?
Okay.
Then they went possum bear,
Yeah.
cat bear.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of like where I'm at with it. I don't know where to place this animal in my brain.
Some sort of mini bear.
Yeah, it's like a new category of animal. And then he says koala at the start, and now
Yeah.
my brain's really confused.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like you're playing a video game and you see an animal and you just decide it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I'm relating to this thing.
Okay.
Yep, it's not real.
This animal has been called 6 dissimilarities, and it's because it honestly looks like a wildebeest, buffalo, bear, and friends all did a fusion dance, and this was the outcome.
Yeah.
This absolute unit is the Takin, and they can stress the scales at up to 800 pounds of pure confusion.
Really?
The Takin is essentially a giga goat, with their closest relatives being the mountain goat and the chamois. And yes, the mountain goat isn't an actual goat because that makes sense. The Sichuan Takin actually shares a range
I'm
with
so
the giant.
sorry. Did he just say a mountain goat is not a goat?
This is the second time he said that, and I've called him a liar for it.
What do you mean a mountain goat is not a goat? It's a goat. Goat is goat.
Ah,
Goat is goat is goat. Delicious in a curry.
facts.
The Sichuan Takin actually shares a range with the giant panda, and they use that nose to heat up air before it hits their lungs.
Okay.
That nose job of necessity also makes it look like a moose that got too cocky with a beehive.
A little.
Which is no joke how they were first described by scientists. I won't do this for every animal, but its Latin name, Budorcus taxicolor, means badger-colored cow ox.
That's
Interesting.
great.
Talkins
Okay.
also sweat oil that smells like burning rubber, and they use this to mark their territory. They're not known menaces, but they do have their moments. In 2007, a Talkin broke into a man's house and injured him and 8 other people, one of them a
Damn.
pregnant woman. And in 2018, during a routine visit from the vet, a Talkin decided he wasn't having it anymore, busting out his enclosure doors and wandering the zoo for an hour,
gotta
injuring
go.
2 workers in the process. Basically, he's not a killer, but don't push him. Same thing with the next animal on this list, which might be the second biggest creature you've never heard of.
Okay.
Because a tapir is endowed in
Oh,
more ways
I've
than
definitely
we
heard
have
of a
seen
taper.
that.
but we'll get to that, guidelines willing. It's a giant plus-sized river pig that's actually closer to horses, rhinos, and wild asses.
Which is always so funny.
Oh, and donkeys too. They're also the national animal of Belize. Shout out to Belize if y'all out there. There's 4 types of tapirs, and the Malaysian one might just strike a nostalgia nerve if you ever played Pokemon. Because Drowsy was actually based on the travel-sized Oreo elephants of Asia. According to mythology, this tapir was associated with the Japanese Baku, and the Baku were said to feed on the dreams of people, especially nightmares.
Yep.
The IRL tapirs are pretty chill for what they are, even though they can get into the neighborhood of 700 pounds.
Jesus!
But they have the dental facilities to bite clean through your arm, so they're definitely one of those F around and find out animals. One family found out when a tapir nearly ripped a 2-year-old in half during a supervised visit in a Dublin zoo.
God,
Not the baby.
I know. Every time the people they do the baby attacks, because the people are just being so whatever, because it's a baby and not respect the fact this is an animal,
wild animal.
Oh God, I hate those.
For the most part, this boneless river rhino is just a flaccid-faced, gentle giant that I kind of wish the world was more aware of. I mean, just look at the teeth on this little guy. You can't tell me that's not cute. Speaking of babies and where they come from, tapirs must have made a deal with the devil we don't know about, since they have a 5th leg long enough to use as a tripod or as a DIY back scratcher. When it comes to herbivorous mammals of the world, the tapir is the real cock of the walk.
See, that's why you gotta respect my request for back scratches. I might just slap it behind there and do it myself. You never know what kind of solutions a man's gonna get.
Bro.
That was so unnecessary. It's actually right on brand for him though, because it was such a mild video up until that point.
Yeah.
Oh God.
If there's ever, if we ever go to trivia, we know a lot of things about things that other people won't know.
The Waka's caucus.
And to cleanse your eyes from that unsolicited salami stick, I give you the sensei bunny. It's actually a rodent called a viscacha, and its closest relative is the chinchilla. But sensei bunny just makes sense, especially since this is their default pose. And it's because where viscachas live is chilly. It's also kind of cold, so they spend every morning sunbathing and waiting to provide advice to anyone who requires it. Also, I really wish I didn't waste that Chungus joke earlier, because
look at him.
come on, it's right there. And the reason they look like a vertically cheated but horizontally defeated obese wallaby is because, like the chinchilla, the viscacha has some of the densest fur on the planet. Also, I'll be honest, I knew about the viscacha. I did not know they could move like that. That's an actual sleeper build. No, like literally, they look like they were built to sleep when they're not passing judgment. This is the look of an animal whose natural predator is a pee test. Brother is faded. But yeah, that's a viscacha. And by the way, if you didn't lose the game already, this next animal almost guarantees you will. Because yeah, there is an animal in this picture, and it's possibly the cutest thing most people know nothing about.
It looks like a handbag.
That's rude.
What do you mean?
That's rude.
Well, what does it look like to you then, if I'm being rude?
A giant furry penis.
All right then. Now, which one do you think it would choose? Big furry dick or handbag? Huh? Which one do you think? You couldn't help yourself.
It kind of looks like a
What's that?
sea cucumber.
It does. It does. Yeah.
And that's because not only is this animal nocturnal and lives in the Amazon equivalent of a penthouse, during the day, it's sleeping in the silk cotton tree camouflaged as a seed pod fiber. And that's how the silky anteater got its name. Because when your biggest ops are eagles with some of the best vision on earth, that is the best you can do. Like the rest of the anteater family, they have claws. And unlike their cousin the sloth, they actually know how to use them. A sleeping silky will nap with its 4 legs and claws right next to its face. Really not that different from dozing off with a knife under your pillow.
Right.
They also can eat 5,000 ants a day, and they use that sticky barbed tongue to skewer and trap their protein. And since anteaters have 0 teeth, they have stomachs like bird gizzards designed to grind the ants down. Proof that beauty is subjective, because what's cute to us is a harbinger of death and genocide if you're an ant.
Yeah.
But I'm not an ant, and you probably aren't either, so let's just take some time to marvel at this pocket-sized baby-faced dollar brand sloth. And it's not the only token from South America on this list.
Okay.
Cue the Hollow Knight. This might look like a regular run-of-the-mill bird, but this little dude has one of the coldest pickup lines in the game.
No? No? Nothing?
Coming from not bird people,
Yeah.
that was whack. So if you're at home cheering at the screen, yeah! Beep, beep, yeah! I'm getting fire alarm vibes.
Something. It was a little anticlimactic.
I thought it was gonna be like, I thought he was gonna be like, beep, beep, bitch! Beep, beep, bitch! All right, you do yours.
I thought it was going to be something a lot more impressive than just a little like doop doop.
Like sing-songy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear better I hear better bird songs than that from the sparrows outside my
I was about
house.
to say the pigeons
I mean,
come around
look,
here making
mourning
noise.
doves do the woo, woo, woo.
That shit
woo.
is
like that
classic.
shit's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
So,
that shit's
but
classic.
you know, no shade, no, you know.
He's doing his thing. He's not doing much, but he's doing it well. But that shit was, we're not bird people. Just let you know, from not bird people, that shit was whack.
That is a club-winged mannequin singing a love song with his feathers.
He gonna die a virgin.
He said it was with his feathers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
It is a cool thing that he can do that with his, like a guy that can whistle with a leaf,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Basically, this small bird from Central and South America has modified flight feathers, and by vibrating them, the mannequin shoots a shot with a specialized sound that varies by bird.
That's pretty cool.
Some mannequins do a solid violin impression, others sound like fireworks on the 4th of July.
Right, you can see
Also,
it
they
moving
make
now
this
that you
sound
said
by
it.
shaking their feathers 100 times a second,
That's
twice as
excellent.
fast as a mascot for ADHD, the hummingbird. And they do all this while dancing. They're really the Michael Jackson of birds. And I'm not even gonna pretend like I know everything. I didn't even know they existed until like a week ago. And if it wasn't for a certain holiday, this next animal might not exist, period. Also, I know the whole crab thing has kind of become a meme, but we're gonna have to talk about how many animals' endgame is a rabbit. This is the second animal here that isn't even remotely related to them, yet stole most of their design. The bilby is another marsupial,
we've
meaning
seen
this
that.
and
Yeah.
Snorlax monkey are basically family. The greater bilby can be found in the harsh, arid deserts of Australia. Now you might be asking, is there a lesser bilby? And yeah, there was. And now they're dead. So clearly not good enough. The greater bilby's not that far behind since they're endangered, which is pretty wild for an animal that only gets pregnant for 2 weeks. Not even exaggerating, at about 14 days, bilbies have one of the shortest cook times of any animal.
Wow.
They're also a close relative of the bandicoot. Yeah, that's a real animal, the more you know.
Gosh.
But yeah, greater bilbies used to inhabit 70% of Australia, and today they're barely holding on to less than 20. And a big reason was humans airdropping threats like foxes and feral cats. But these days, the
Makes
word's
sense.
been getting out about the plight of the appropriation bunny, and they can thank the sale of chocolate bilbies on Easter. Easter bilbies started in '93, and
Oh
they've been part
my
of the culture ever
goodness.
since. It's only right that they replaced rabbits, since rabbits are one of the things that got the bilby population in the mud. But today, there's well over 3,000 of them. Not great, but they're
Only
not in the worst
3,000?
spot. They're not as down bad as animal number 8, since there's only hundreds of them left on the planet. Nobody would blame you if you went your entire life without seeing it,
Okay.
since they're shy, endangered, and the only place you can find them is in special underground caves in the Balkans. The Olm is a salamander that's blind, vampire
we've
pale,
seen
and happens to be one of the most
Yeah.
fundamentally confusing animals in the world.
Yeah.
First of all, they're not born blind, but they lose their eyes a couple months after they're born and even grow a layer of skin over them. Yet they can still detect and avoid light. The Olm can go a whole decade without food by storing important nutrients in their liver. Usually when you talk about animals that live the longest, you're looking at relatively bigger creatures like elephants, whales, and tortoises. This tiny blind salamander has a lifespan more comparable to us at about 70 years, and scientists believe they can
Goddamn.
max out at well over a century. For reference, there might be an Olm salamander right now that was alive when World War I popped off.
Wow.
The reason for this is, unlike Archduke Ferdinand, the Olm has 0 enemies.
My guy.
That was good.
I know it's been like a long ass time, but still, too soon.
Damn.
You know? Like,
Damn.
bro.
There was even one Olm on record that straight up didn't move for a whole 7 years.
God.
The Mannequin Challenge was
Wow.
in 2016. Bro just never stopped playing. Olms don't be rushing for anybody, which is why they wait once a decade to get laid. Yeah, they only breed about once every
Wow.
12 years, which is probably why there's only an estimated 400 in
Right,
stock.
they don't be
They done
fucking.
protected their piece so much that their whole community finna rest in it. And for animal number 9, you're gonna have to hear me out. Hyenas aren't unknown at all, but out of the
Right.
4 species of them, the brown hyena is by far the rarest and least talked
damn.
about.
Oh,
Which
wow.
sucks, because they're actually one of my favorite predators in Africa, because I love me an underdog. They're not really great hunters and will often get checked by lions and even their own spotted cousin.
Go ahead.
He said, I love me an underdog,
Mm-hmm.
but he said the word, like sound. I was like, ugly.
Dead. I like ugly dog. Hideous ass. Scruffy ass dog. He does look bad.
He's riding
Yeah.
the struggle bus.
Yeah, he look
He's
rough.
that it's not like life is hard for him,
Yeah.
you know?
I
And-
walked to school uphill. I believe you. I believe they built 2 houses uphill from each other and you had to go between them.
And it's definitely one of those things where like I know there's a lot of animals that get, you know, pretty privilege.
Yeah.
He don't have to deal
He
with
needs
that
a
at all.
haircut. He needs a design. He needs to be on a fashion show.
I just don't know how you are both unkempt and balding at the same time. That's crazy. That's nuts.
Not to mention wild dogs and jackals can get their licks in on their cubs. But brown hyenas are also major kleptos that'll pocket kills from their competition. Sometimes they'll body a 5v1 against cheetahs and walk away with their food and their pride.
Damn.
Two things I think are pretty dope about them is one, even though they're not dogs, brown hyenas have a social structure a lot like a wolf pack with the two parents and all their kids. And number two is that they managed to turn an abandoned town into a nursery. There's an old ghost town in the Namibian desert that has no trace of humans, yet brown hyenas use the desolate houses and empty mines as dens to keep their kids in while they go grocery shopping, which can mean up to 20 miles of walking a day. One famous hyena mother has apparently lived in these forgotten ruins for 15 years and even raised 9 generations of cubs and counting. Moral of the story, hyenas deserve better and Simba really ain't shit for putting them out like this. But that ain't even close to how hard humanity has violated the last animal here. This isn't a raccoon, skunk, or a cat. It's one of the members of the cat side of the carnivore family, specifically called feliform, which makes this result of an over-the-hedge orgy more related to hyenas than they are to the raccoons they cosplay as. The African civet is only one of over a dozen species of civets seasoned across Africa and Asia. The raccoon colorway is actually a form of camouflage, since the patterns break up their outline and makes it harder to spot them in the bush.
Did you like have an initial gut reaction to like punch it? Because we're
raccoons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it, but I just thought like his design is a little bit more elegant. And it's crazy when you take them out of their element, how they just elevate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is send the raccoons back to Africa where they belong. Send the raccoons back.
Can I just ask?
I was debating whether or not I was going to say it. And I was just like, fuck it. Yeah, send them back.
Can I just ask?
Uh-huh.
Where did your hatred of raccoons come from?
You know, when I was a boy, you could never trust them. You know, just growing up, you could never get a feel from them. And you could just waltz off of them. You could just kind of smell it, see it in their eyes, too, the beady little eyes that they're just up to no good. Good for nothing. That's what it is. Just not really down for the community. My community has values, and then they come in. It's the reason why property values go down when they move in.
Okay, look. Racist talking points aside. Did a raccoon kill one of your dogs or something? What is it?
This joke is so flawless because racism has all the answers. I'll never run out. It's an infinitely long bag of reasons.
My God.
You'll never pin me down. I never have to be held responsible for my feelings. Look at them, not me. They're the problem.
You guys can't feel him, but as soon as the animal came up on screen, I felt him tense up. He was ready.
I really wasn't gonna say it. I was like, if I say send them back to Africa, bro, I gotta explain this a lot.
You might not have seen them in the flesh and fur, but you might have heard about them, especially if you drink coffee. Because the world's most expensive and gate-kept coffee, Kopi Luwak, is made from the coffee beans found in the poop of the Asian palm civet. How they literally put 2 and 2 together to come up with that, I don't want to know. And of course, this demand can lead to civets being captured, caged, and force-fed coffee beans in order to supply. Full disclosure, I don't drink coffee, so I really wouldn't know, but there's no way it can be worth it. And it's not even the only civet to get his brown eye exploited by people. That was a wild sentence. African civets produce a musk, this white, nasty-smelling stuff that scientists like to call civet butter. Civets use it to mark their territory, but somehow people figured out they can use its butt glands for perfume, specifically Chanel No. 5.
Right,
and they get the
that's right. When he said Chanel, I was like, that is right. That's right.
And they get the juices they need by scraping it from the civet's pink balloon knot. So if you have some Chanel on deck and it says natural ingredients on the bottle, there's a good chance it came from...
He's pooping on the camera.
But yeah, civets in general are pretty cool. They can actually be super affectionate when raised by people. And if I had to pick a favorite, I'd have to go with Austin's palm civet. Literally only because I think they're cool looking. I mean, you're gonna tell me I'm wrong? So yeah, that's 10 animals you've probably never seen before. Except when I was making this list, I was stuck at 11 and could not decide what animal to leave off. But then I realized I have free will. This is my channel. So y'all get a bonus animal and probably my favorite animal on here. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the tree kangaroo. Specifically the Goodfellas tree kangaroo. Like the name suggests, this kangaroo's entire personality is trees. They're mad awkward on land, but they can jump from a height of 3 stories and fully tank the fall damage. They're kind of like the cuscus because of where and how they live. A lot of people in the same area as them have no clue they exist. But unlike the cuscus, who looks like the drop bear Aussies keep warning us about, the good fellow genuinely looks like a tree-loving teddy bear. And it's not just them. There's 14 flavors of branch bears, including the incredibly rare tenkyle, with only hundreds of them alive today. And the Wandiwa tree kangaroo, who scientists genuinely believe went extinct after going off the grid for 90 years. Until they randomly just popped up out of nowhere. And for y'all that don't understand, it's like the science equivalent of Tupac being alive this entire time in Cuba. Proving that when it comes to nature, the only thing we know for sure is that we really don't know much at all. But that's gonna do it for this video.
That was great. And I love that we got a little bonus animal.
It was actually the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me nothing about it though. That's a nice little cliffhanger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stay hooked in. I want to look up a little bit because I kind of like that as like a little mascot.
It looked real soft.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch
Cuddly. There's another one, a smaller version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, I'm so anxious about touching animals ever since the koalas have chlamydia thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I like to say they have herpes. It's funnier. Chlamydia is scary. Skin transfer.
It's bad.
Yeah.
But that I would risk not chlamydia, but I would risk some sort of disease to touch that.
Like
animal.
what? You got to be way more specific than that after that intro.
A rash that'll clear up in like a day.
Like
or
a
two.
wart.
No wart.
No wart.
Just like
boil.
a little rash. It don't even itch. It's just like there, and then I put on some cream,
Like a
and then
blemish.
it goes away. Yeah.
Yeah, just a skin defect.
Yeah, just a little
Not
one.
harmful.
Yeah.
I would risk maybe a plane ticket. Regular people shit.
It's really cute though.
It is cute.
I fully support it. This was a great video.
So how many did you know from this video?
Are we including the bonus?
Oh yeah, including all of them.
Okay, including the bonus, I knew 8 of 11.
Wow, that's a really good number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only knew 5, and that's from videos like this.
Yeah.
So literally over half the list I had never even seen before.
I didn't know the first 2, and I didn't know the tree kangaroo.
Right. Very good, man. Yeah, you might watch too much animal content.
I used to read dictionaries and encyclopedias for fun.
And is it like when he says the name, you're like, oh yeah, I've seen that before.
No, yeah.
Very good, dude. That's really awesome. Well, you're free. So we'll see you guys around. Let us know where you guys are at with your number.
Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I didn't touch the animal.
Oh.
Don't forget to leave your reaction requests and your recommendations down in the comments below. And if you are bold enough to make a fashion statement, don't let the naysayers say nay. This is cute. I look cute. Other than that, peace out, Ho Biscuits. It's Skittin' Lit.